Welcome to ARRAYdio's podcast. We are so excited that you're joining us today, and we have a lot of exciting people, a lot of exciting news. So, I'm going to introduce you to our new host for today. It is Kayuri, who is our new PR and marketing person here at Array Publishing and Marketing. Welcome, Kayuri, for joining us today, as well as joining the team.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiri, and I'm new with Array. Really excited you guys could join us today. We're having some exciting guests, and I'm really excited to be a part of Team Array.
Well, welcome, and we'll be telling people more about you, and they're going to be seeing a lot more of you out and about in the community. Right. But after 5 o'clock on Friday, they'll be seeing you on the street with your mask on.
Hope so.
So, I want you to talk about, as our PR and marketing person and handling our social media, a little bit more about this new format, because we were doing a weekly internet radio show before. We were recording it at Fayetteville State University, one of our local universities, and had a huge following, really enjoyed it. But of course, with the colleges being shut down, we had to just kind of forego that format. But we've missed everyone, and we really want to be able to tell people about different people in the community, still talk about events and businesses and all. So what new format are we going to?
So just because of COVID-19, we obviously want everyone to be safe. We want us to be safe. We're switching to StreamYard, and we're going to be recording our shows and podcasts on here and sharing it to our Facebook page and our YouTube page, so everyone can still watch and we can be up to date with everything that's going on in our community, give a platform to local organizations or businesses, and still have our talk show. So make sure you follow Array Publishing and Marketing on Facebook as well as YouTube to continue watching our show.
All right. Thank you for that. We have two amazing guests today. It is Sam and Danny from Fayetteville Pride, and so we'll be bringing them on shortly. We're going to still sort of keep the format that we did with our radio program before, and since Array is always positive, we are doing our positive quote of the month. Kayuri, you want to read that?
Sure. So I'll go ahead. Make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement. Golda Meir.
And I think that, especially right now, that's what people are having to do, is fan those tiny inner sparks within themselves, get creative, come up with new ways to do things, and
for sure.
And while staying safe. And things are constantly changing, but not changing back to what we called our normal. So I think that's a really good quote for right now.
And I mean, like, we are adapting, and I think especially during these times, I think we would encourage people to still reach out to us and see if we could help them in any ways with marketing, social media, any digital platforms that they want to be represented on. And we're changing our techniques and our different ways we can market to people and help our community out, especially. So I would encourage anyone watching who needs any help to please reach out to us, and we can see what we can do for you.
Yeah, and remember, we're not only always positive, we're also always affordable. So we've really kept small businesses in mind and offered a lot of opportunities. A lot of the businesses where we were putting our publications are closed. So we've gone to a digital version, and we're getting a lot of, hits on that because of Kayuri really posting stuff out there. So it's very affordable to continue to advertise with us. We have spotlighted Abby Ortez and A1 Supply in last month's issue, and we're very excited about our July issue that will be online at ARRAYNC.com. next week, July 1st.
And if anyone wants you, if anyone's looking to grow their clients and reach out to more people, let us know. We're happy to help.
Exactly. If you have an event or you want to talk about your business or anything, you can reach out to us at info@arraync.com or call us at 910-802-2013 and we'll get back with you. So do you want to follow up with our money hacks, which is something we started earlier in the year?
So I'm new to this, guys, so bear with me. But we have some great money hacks here that I had no idea about. And one of them is keep your closet doors closed so you're not unnecessarily heating or cooling those spaces. My house is always hot, especially upstairs. And so I'm definitely going to try that and see if it works out.
Yeah, it's some of those little things like that, usually you don't have anything in your closet that needs to be climate controlled, more so than just the general air that gets in there and all. Then the other thing is to install weather stripping on doors to keep air from escaping, especially now. I had our door open the other day and noticed down at the corner on the storm door, I could see some light coming in. So we need to replace some weather stripping down there. So now I'm having to keep the door shut and not let the sunlight come in until I can get some new weather stripping.
And then another one is to get your ductwork a checkup, and I will let you expand on that, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, you can call any of the HVAC companies around, ask them, what they charge to come out. They go crawl up under your house. They look and see if any of the ductwork needs to be replaced. Sometimes it'll get ripped. Sometimes it's just old and cracked, and there's different types of ductwork under your house. So they can tell you what you need. So talk about not heating and cooling your closets. You don't want to heat and cool the space under your house.
True.
So, call and get that ductwork checked out.
Yes, thank you for that. And so I guess we're ready to bring on our very special guest today. And I'll let you introduce them, Anne-Marie, and then we'll bring them in.
Okay, we've got Sam DuBose, who is the president of Fayetteville Pride. Then we also have Danielle, or AKA Danny, and she is listed on their website as, I think, a member at large, but that sounded like she was on a wanted poster or something. So I will say that she is former president of the group. Welcome, you guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thank you for having us on. We really appreciate being invited to be here.
Well, June is Pride Month, and we are going to miss being out in the sweltering heat this year for Pride Fest.
So let's talk a little bit about that, and maybe you guys can tell us a little bit about Fayetteville Pride. And I heard it started about 3 years ago, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, early 2017, a guy named Craig Weimer had decided it was time for Fayetteville to have a Pride Festival. So he kind of put it out there on social media, got a good-sized group of folks to show up for a meeting to plan it. The following month in March, I had a second meeting, and Danny, I remember there being at least 40 or so people there. Does that jive with your recollection? It was a good full room.
Sure, that was the library meeting where somehow we got connected through social media. I had never heard of what was happening, and I know I saw the notice and I thought, how can I not be involved in something like this? If this is happening in Fayetteville, I need to be there. So I'm sure everyone else did, but there must have been at least 40 people in that library who were ready to start making some change in Fayetteville for the LGBT community.
That's good.
Indeed.
So how have you guys grown over the last 3 years?
Wow. So I mean, we're a startup nonprofit, and we're really just looking for people to help us help roll up their sleeves and get the work done. But in 2018, we nonprofit status, so that was probably the biggest achievement that we accomplished right out of the gate, and it took a little while and a little bit of heavy lifting to make that happen. And since then, we've held regular community meetings, usually about every month. We'll post on our social media page when we're doing those so people can attend. And those are housed right there with you guys, with Array, at the Revolutionary Co-working Building.
Okay.
Yeah, the old spot on the 6th floor.
Okay. Could you tell me a little bit about the things you guys do in the community, like the kind of events and maybe how you contribute to Fayetteville's community?
Well, yeah, let me back up really quickly. When the organization first got stood up, the goal, the stated goal at the time was just to get a festival out there. The second meeting that we had, a board was seated. Danny and I were both on that board at the time, and she lugged into or lugged out of, I'm not sure which, the vice president's seat. Then Greg, the president, had made it clear he didn't want to be a board member. He just wanted to see his plan come to fruition. And then he, I believe he took a job transfer or otherwise left the area not too long after we first split the group up. At that time, the board members who were there all felt that we wanted to do more than just be a one festival a year group. We wanted to actually have an impact in the community. Down the road, a community center reach out to LGBTQ youth, collaborate with other agencies and organizations that serve historically marginalized groups. And that's kind of the direction that we took off in. And Danny can probably fill in a lot of the gaps on that, particularly with the youth group, I think.
Yeah, certainly. So that's one of the things we saw as a need. We looked at the people who came together in that first meeting. We're like, sure, a festival is great, and we do believe that visibility is important to the LGBT community. I mean, it literally saves lives for people to see other like people and understand that there is support out there. But we also knew it was really important that we were doing more. So kind of the first thing that we were able to lift up was we were calling it the Youth Council at first. And I think we changed its name to Youth Engagement. There's the more we were out in the community, so we started participating in Fourth Fridays, and we would meet people, we would meet families who were just coming up to show their support, or maybe they had young children and had questions. We would have teenagers who would just kind of walk by one or two times and then finally get some courage to come talk to us. And so we knew early on that youth would be a strong focus for us. And it really just started out with some meetups for young people. We did an art in the park where we brought chalk and we went into the little art park and did some artwork down there with them. And we did some pizza game nights and that kind of thing. And now we're moving to definitely have that, because our youth have expressed that they just need a safe space where they can hang out and be themselves. But then also adding some educational pieces, and we've partnered with some organizations to provide like healthy relationships training and that kind of thing. And we're just hoping that we can continue to grow that youth outreach piece.
Okay. And so how has the turnout been with all these events?
Well, with the youth, the first thing we had to figure out was, what we all learned is that the youth aren't on Facebook. So we've had to find ways to connect with them. And through our Fourth Fridays and participation at Dogwood Festival, and also through some of our social media channels like Snapchat, we've connected. The turnout is a little small. Kids are unpredictable, but we welcome anyone that will come to us. And then we're also trying to make sure that we're being confidential with how we're sharing information as well.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about the things that you guys have noticed need to be maybe addressed or could be better in the Fayetteville community, and how you are providing those things, or I would say tools, the correct tools.
We get where you're going. Okay. Well, let me say this. The first 3 years were more or less of the organization were marked as building and establishing the organization. You know, getting our name out there, just solidifying what we wanted to focus on, and identify what other people thought we needed to focus on. Have to take that into account. And so we're now into. Now that we're into the third year, we're into essentially our growth phase, where we're focusing on reaching out to other organizations, other nonprofits, whether it's the homeless support agencies. I mean, homelessness in the LGBTQ community, and again, particularly among youth, is ridiculously out of whack with the numbers across the board. I would strongly encourage y'all to maybe take a look at the Trevor Project's report on LGBT youth homelessness. The numbers are staggering. So we're working right now. We're reaching out to other groups and partnering where we can, finding other ways to support them. That's one area. Another is, both circling back to just Pride Fest, getting that out there and showing the broader community that, hey, we're your neighbors, we're your coworkers, we're just normal, very boring people. Right now my husband's in the other room painting the bedroom. So, that's the gay agenda for today. Okay. But that's the thing. And I've got to say that I was a little apprehensive when we first brought Pride live, as far as how the community would react. We have the reputation in the Fayetteville area, has the reputation of being a very conservative area. We have the strong military presence and things that on paper would make you really think long and hard before launching an organization like this. But one thing I will say is just how shockingly welcoming and positive the community's been. I mean, Danny talks about them setting up on Fourth Fridays and the positive reception. I mean, the folks who kind of step back and might, curl their nose are just a minuscule percentage of the people that, Pride encounters at these events. The first year we had a Pride, it was actually in association with the Fourth Friday. And I think, Danielle, we're planning for like maybe 400 or so people to attend.
With first year events, you just never really know what to expect. But I would say you're right. We were hoping to see definitely our board and our board members and our close friends and people we had connected with, and maybe hoping for maybe 400 people or so. And we were just crossing our fingers that it all came together, and we were so surprised and just heartened to see the people that showed up. We had the official count was near 1,500 people that first year. And Anne-Marie, you were there. I mean, you can tell us a little bit about what your experience was too. It was just so much love and support.
Yeah, it was. I remember y'all hoping people were going to show up. And having it in the park there, the little small park. And, we all felt like, well, we'll have plenty of room here, and we're hoping people show up. And it seems like I guess there was a Fourth Friday going on. And I just remember there was a lot going on at the same time. And the whole place was packed. And we were so proud that we were there and as a publication supporting Pride Fest and the whole event. Of course, met great people, and we knew that, we were going to be a part of that. And Danny, you and your wife were on our cover in March of 2014. So we were glad that y'all really got out there and brought this to the community. And I'm so glad that the community opened their arms and accepted y'all as well as they did. And Sam, you just never know about Fayetteville. And I think we were all very, very surprised, very happy, and very proud. And so we appreciate all the hard work and the stepping up and getting it done, and risking so much to let people know that this was a need that the community has had. And I think this really helped let people know. And then the next year you went from the little park to a very huge, successful festival park event. And the turnout was amazing, even though, what was it, 250 degrees or something?
It was like 1,000. It was 1,000 degrees that day.
Yes, it felt like it.
Yes, and again, we were just so pleased to see everyone turn out at Festival Park. I mean, the first year proved to us, we all knew in our hearts that this was something that we needed in Fayetteville, and then to see the community show up in support of it, it was amazing. And then looking at 2019, the second year festival, to have almost 5,000 people there, and we had 80 vendors. So it was an amazing second year festival for us. And that's not even counting all the entertainment that happened as well. I mean, we had live performances and from local musicians, and then drag performers as well, or female impersonators on the stage. I'm not sure that we've had that happen before, so we were super pleased to bring that element to the big stage there.
Well, that sounds really fun. It sucks that I missed that this year. I know COVID kind of threw everything off, and Pride unfortunately got canceled for this month. But Sam, I know you mentioned something about since Pride got canceled, you might be planning on doing an October picnic on a bigger scale. You want to expand on that and tell us a little bit about it?
We are. We have an annual October community picnic.
Okay.
It started off as the first year, was it a potluck, Danny? I
It
didn't make that this year.
Yeah, it was kind of a potluck. We cooked hot dogs, and other people brought macaroni salad.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it was. And again, a key thing for our organization is to demonstrate just that we are part of the greater community, individually and as a group, and we in turn want to welcome the greater community into what we're doing, and let them see us with our scuffy jeans or whatever, and just again being your next door neighbor. This year, the community picnic, because we took a big hit this month, actually just this past weekend, it would have been, and losing our signature event, what everybody thinks of when they think of Pride organization. We're going to try and make up a little bit for some of what we lost by making this year's community picnic bigger, better, more than it would otherwise be. Bringing in more vendors, more activities. We're working up some live entertainment for this as well. We think we're going to have the space for it. It's going to be at Dirtbag Ales. We're not going to try and go for the festival park in October, because it's pretty well solidly booked for the most part anyway. And we don't want to try to set that kind of expectation, because this is still at heart a community get together.
Of course. So do you guys have like a date for now, or is that something that's in the works still?
Danny, I keep screwing that up. Would you take it? Which Saturday is it?
Yes. So our community picnic is planned for October 10th, and it's an afternoon festival. I think we'll start at around 2. We're still figuring out the time on that, and kind of figuring out what kind of entertainment pieces will happen. And it's at Dirtbag Ales. That's where we had it last year. The first 2 years, I think, we're at Masaryk Park, and then last year and this year we'll be doing that at Dirtbag Ales. And it's a real relaxed event. We have a raffle. We're hoping to have some female entertainers, impersonators there as well. this year, and some vendors, and we always bring in other LGBT resource partners. So if we can get our friends from Quality NC there, or the Human Rights Commission, they come as well, and our friends at PFLAG, which is parents. Oh gosh,
Usually parents, friends, and family.
And then also the North Carolina Out Professionals. So we have had just recent growth in building community around the LGBT organizations. We're not the only folks in town, and so we do partner with those other two organizations whenever we can, and just kind of build a sense of community, and people can find the lane they want to be in, and roll up their sleeves and join us.
Well, yeah, another good example is Dr. Hall at the VA, on the Rayford Rug VA. We've been partnering with her fairly regularly, and it looks like the start of a beautiful friendship on reaching out to LGBTQ veterans, and sharing with them the resources that are available through the VA here. That shocked me when she first came into the community meeting back in January, February, and she started reeling off the various things that are available. I was stunned with the amount of support that, again, you think it's IGO, Veterans Administration, what they're doing to reach out and support their LGBTQ veterans and active duty service members.
And particularly transgender services as well. Yeah.
Okay. So the October picnic sounds great, and I'm sure you guys will probably promote it on social, and so for people to go and get those details, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, once we nail down the details a little more finely, you probably won't see any social media promotion until, at least I would guess, maybe the end of July or so, probably, or give it about a month.
Right, but I mean, it's good to put it out there and let people watching make them aware of that, and that they're welcome to go to that. Yeah,
absolutely.
I kind of wanted to ask you guys about, and how, if you maybe discussed it with the group. I know the Supreme Court just passed a law in favor of the LGBTQ+ community, about protecting the LGBTQ community in the workplace. And when I looked at it, and I was like, wow, it's a great time, Pride Month. And I wanted to see and ask you about how you felt about that.
That is fantastic. And I mean, basically being included now, saying, you cannot be fired from your job because of your sexual orientation or gender identity is a big thing. Everybody remembers the old Cracker Barrel business, and other places where people just ran, oh no, you're gay or you look gay, you can't work for us, or you got to go. On paper, that's gone. Now, that we were essentially incorporated into Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of '64, which is, prohibits employment discrimination on the basis of race, sex, etc. And we were included into sex because Gorsuch, surprisingly, who wrote the majority opinion, said you cannot say sex and not talk about same sex. I mean, it's all part of it. So it was, we took that as a big win. But I think the bigger, possibly, we'll see down the road, but the bigger ramification is just maybe 3, 4, possibly 5 days before that, the administration had rolled back some of the Affordable Care Act protections for LGBTQ individuals, basically took those off the table for us, and saying that, sex in this case was basically how you were born, what plumbing you were born with. And right now, Land Illegal and I forget how many LGBTQ health providers around the country are taking that decision to court, taking the administration to court over, rolling that back. And now they have this Title VII decision to fall back on in support of their position. And there will be other things, other areas where LGBTQ folks have been traditionally, basically carved out of being part of, the great experiment, that now are going to have to be revisited based on that one decision. So, we were excited about that on its face, but what it can possibly mean moving forward is really kind of exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these decisions.
I was wondering, so would you guys have anything to say to the community if someone is looking to get any help or contact you for any resources or just talk, how they can reach out to you or anything you want to say to them?
Well, first thing is we are available. We have the email contact@fayettevillepride.org. Let's stop and think about these. We do have a website with contact options. Our Facebook and social media, they can reach out to us through that. There's a phone number there. And we are not, like I said, we're a 3-year-old organization. So we are not at the point now where we are the authority, the be all and end all on everything that can help you if you fall within the LGBTQ community. However, we've made a lot of contacts. We continue to make contacts, and we are able to help folks at least get pointed in the right direction. To refer them to Dr. Hall at the VA with questions about their veterans benefits, or as an example. So that's the thing, it's let us know, reach out to us, and if we can't help you, we can sure commit to trying to find somebody who can.
So what is a email again that you can be reached at, or a phone number?
It's contact@fayettevillepride.org. Danny, do you have the phone number off the top of your head? Because I sure haven't. It's speed dial 3. So.
We do have a phone number, but your best bet is to email us, or even just Facebook Messenger. We all have that connected on our phones, so it's an easy way to get in touch with us.
And I'll be sure to add that to our link when we post this video, so if anybody's looking to get in touch, they can do it easily.
Fantastic.
But I want to thank you too to come on here and talk to us today. I know Pride Month is important, and it's a shame that COVID happened and Pride got canceled. But there's always next year, and I'm looking forward to coming to the community picnic in October. I'm new to the Fayetteville area, and it sounds really exciting, and I would like to get involved and help out any way I can.
That's fantastic.
Well, keep in mind, we're a nonprofit. Anybody who's interested in getting involved, volunteers are always welcome.
Awesome.
And don't forget, Array is always here for y'all, so reach out to us.
You always have been, and we appreciate that deeply.
We sure do.
It was nice talking with you, Danny and Sam.
All right. Okay, well, thank you, and happy Pride, y'all.
Happy Pride.
Well, thanks so much for having us on.
Bye.
Bye, guys.